It is with great sadness I must report, following last night's major announcement on the future of sports, that Vince McMahon is not buying Newcastle United. Something to do with the XFL, I think. Aye, that's right, the Extreme Football League, long considered one of his most embarrassing failures, is coming back. Despite low TV ratings leading to a cancellation after only one season, effectively meaning he took $35 million and just stuffed it down the toilet, we're getting an 8-team league over 12 weeks sometime in 2020. It isn't exactly out of nowhere, this, as he has been quietly selling off about $100 million in WWE stock to fund it, but there is still an awful lot to unpack with this, and crucially, a lot we still don't know. So with that in mind, my name's Adam Cleary, and these are 8 things you need to know about the XFL 2020. Number 8, why it's happening. Possibly the biggest question in all of this is why? I mean, in terms of Vince McMahon's failures, this is up there with the World Bodybuilding Federation or raising normal children. Last night in his conference call, this was literally the first question posed to him, and turns out that Vince thinks that since 70 million Americans spend 7 months not getting to watch their favourite sport during the off-season, that he can satisfy this need. And while he has always wanted to bring the XFL back, he sees now as the perfect time to do it. And he might have a point. You see, Vince went on to talk about all the different revenue streams and distribution methods that simply weren't available to the XFL originally, but that he has at his fingertips. Now he reckons he can create a better game than people are used to, god damn it, and that will create its own by God demand. That impression's going to be constant, by the way. Number 7, Vince thinks he's learned from last time. One main admission from last night's conference call was the lack of any serious grilling about the XFL's initial run. Like, I'm not just shitting on it for the sake of shitting on it here. It is, by WWE's own admission, something that failed on every conceivable level. This was hinted at, but Vince gave very deliberately vague and unconvincing answers, simply saying that his team had done a lot of research on it, whatever that means. He did, though, say that watching something 3 hours long can often be laborious, so he is at least learning from Raw. Number 6. It'll be faster, safer football. You gotta hand it to Vince McMahon, haven't you? Someone who made his money in a sport that allegedly gives people brain injuries, trying to save a sport that allegedly gives people brain injuries by having the USP of, we won't give people brain injuries. He stressed a quicker, shorter game with no breaks for halftime and a simpler set of rules. The new XFL will be fan-centric, with a lot of the things you like and none of the things you don't, and a lot of innovations. Quite precisely what that means we still don't know, but it's football reimagined is the tagline. Number 5, the teams are still to be decided. As things stand, Big Vinny Winnie has absolutely no idea which teams we're going to see in the new look XFL, but did say they would lean towards cities with established football franchises so they can make use of stadiums, training facilities, fans, that sort of thing. While that does narrow down the field slightly, he did say that every city was going to be on their radar, but sadly that we wouldn't be getting the original XFL teams back. A shame if ever there was one. Number 4, Vince is listening. I mean, lol, tell that to his wrestling audience, but Vince McMahon swears down, promises, pinky swears, honestly, cross his black heart and hope to die, that they're gonna give the game of football back to the fans by listening to them. Lol. This fan-centric approach is going to be more about interaction than anything else that's currently out there. Ask yourself the question, Vince said, terrifyingly. What would you do if you could reimagine the game of football? I mean, again, no actual specifics about what that means, and again, lol, 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 lol. Number 3, character is as important as ability. Okay, so finally, some actual specifics. Each team will have a 40-man roster. Well, that's it. We won't know more about who's going to be in it until they've decided the cities that are hosting, but Vince did give us a little bit about the kind of characters he wanted in the league. McMahon stated that the quality of the human being is just as important as the quality of the bad goddamn player, goddammit. Which means that there'll be no players with previous associations with criminality. Now, that is broadly in line with WWE's hiring policy, but they are occasionally selective with it. He was also asked about Colin Kaepernick, and number 2, this could get problematic. Even if you've never watched a minute of NFL, there's a good chance you know who Colin Kaepernick is. The former San Francisco 49ers quarterback is now more known for his social and political stances than he is for his footballing career. In 2006, he brought global headlines to the sport by refusing to stand for the national anthem as a protest against perceived racial injustices in America. That made him a hero to some and a villain to others. While he didn't say outright that he wouldn't be welcome in the XFL, he did say that standing for the national anthem would be a cast iron rule, and those that didn't abide by it would be punished accordingly. It's a time-honored tradition that stood for can't remember the actual quote. We're here to play football, by God, he said, not here to deal with politics or something. Yeah, best of luck with that. Number 1, it'll have no impact on WWE. Now, I'm not daft, I know why you're here. How will Vince's role in the XFL impact WWE? Well, in his own words, not at all, God damn it. No matter what happens with the XFL, he will remain as WWE's chairman and CEO, and it will have no impact on his day-to-day duties with the company, he reckons. The dude's work ethic, much like his libido, is the stuff of f***ing legend, but he is still 72 years old. He'd be nearly 3/4 of a century by the time this thing launches, so I would personally take that with a pinch of salt, so big you could season your fries from space. So there you are, that's everything we currently know about the XFL, which, yes, admittedly, isn't all that much. All we really got out of last night was that Vince really wants to do it, but it's gonna take a while, be very costly, and could be a total disaster. So literally my entire approach to getting married. Let us know what you make of it all by leaving a comment below, and as ever, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I've been Adam from What Culture Wrestling, and I will see you all in 2 years' time over on What Culture XFL. Goodbye. So that was our video. Thank you for watching. Please do feel free to click on anything happening around my head, or something terrible might happen to this dog. Is that you too sweeting me, bro? Ugh. Disgusting. That's really bad.